This is Louise, the #1 richest player in Spongebob tower defense, and it's not even close. He has over 11 billion value, which is more than double than what I even have. Today, let's dive deep in how we got there, how much of it is legit, and let's talk about who we threatened along the way. And I guess the story starts right here, where Louise is calling us out after we accused him of using dev spawn units. Dexter Morgan and Tide says first you get dev spawn, then borrowing units for an endless record, which doesn't count if you borrow units. Louise then quote tweets this in his server saying, "The things you hear, they tell me I'm using dev spawn units when they don't even give them out anymore, lol." But not only that, he then follows up, "They hate me because they're fans of Jerry Killer and Bloxbusters TD. They can't accept that I'm better than both of them. They say things like I borrowed a unit when I could literally get 10 square pants maxed if I wanted to, lol." So guys, he thinks he's better than both me and Jerry combined. Judging by this leaderboard and how much value he has, that's not even a lie. He's got 4 max Hydra Karens, 2 shiny Wumbo Panties, 2 shiny Wumbo Swimmer the Cyclones. What? He's also got a shiny Wumbo Pat the Hapless. But that's not it, guys. Look at all of these prismatics. This guy, oh my gosh. Are these level of riches even possible? Let's dive straight into it. If you were to join Louise's public Discord server, you would see that this guy is Busco4 GG Rock Shiny Wumbo 5-star. That means looking for GG Rock Shiny Wumbo 5-star in Spanish. And if we read down here, offers the SAB, Steal a Brain Rot, Spongebob Tower Defense, and FNTD. He also said the same thing with the Santa Claus, the big guys, and Santa Claus again. Busco Santa Claus, SPTT, Steal a Brain Rot, or Robux. And in this screenshot, he even admits he bought some regular Santa Claus figures with Robux. But the devs acted quick, and they deleted every single unit they verifiably found evidence that he actually bought. Louise claims he has nothing to hide. They're upset I bought 2 Santas for 100 Robux each, and that's not my problem. The devs then dove into his account and deleted every other unit they could find that he cross-traded or paid for. And the sad part is they probably missed a ton. It's pretty hard to prove unless he adds everyone in his Discord. Louise was then removed from the Starfish program due to violations of both Roblox terms of service and the program rules. These violations included purchasing units, promoting services that are against terms of service, and hosting a cross-trading server. And yeah, I kind of forgot to mention, his server he was buying units in, it wasn't only for him. He had middlemen and everything. He had a whole cross-trading ring going on. I don't know how no one caught it. I guess I just didn't speak the language or ever join his server. But yeah, guys, literally no one reported this. It just went under the table forever. But that was just the start of the allegations and the beginning of what was to come. A few hours later, I got a random DM saying, "Hey, Blox, been watching your videos for a while. I pulled a shiny Wumbo Jellian leader about a month ago, and I've been holding on to it. The reason I'm telling you this is because it was the #2. The #1 was dev spawned. Louis, the Spanish YouTuber, was given it and took the serial #1. Now, I didn't know what to believe at first. Was this unit actually dev spawned? Who knows? This was just an allegation from a random guy with the #2 who's obviously biased and probably a little salty. Luis's #1 didn't last for long. He then ended up superstarring it, guys. So if this was dev spawned, for him to ruin the #1 and superstar it, that would be absolutely insane, right? But after hearing he was using dev spawns like his own, I decided to DM Wonderworks Tyson. I told him that he fused the shiny Wumbo Painty, and I'm 90% sure he also fused a dev spawn Jellian leader. He got #1 Jellian unfairly and also then stole the fused one from an actual legit player. Just wondering if you can look into it and see if he's legit. I'm also reporting this on #2 owner's behalf, and I sent the DM I got. Tyson said, "Yes, we're in the middle of looking into his account. Not sure how he'd get a dev spawn one, as we only let them test units in tests, so I'm not sure about that." And with everything mounting up against Luis, Wonderworks Tyson banned him in-game until it was all figured out, just as a preemptive security measure. Now, the question was, how did he get so rich to the point he was the #1 richest in the game, even beating out me, who's been on every single leaderboard, got most of the #1 serials, and has grinded 8 accounts at the start of the game? Surely with only 2 units being deleted, he would still be #1, right? Well, that's when we learned that he actually did get the #1 shiny Wumbo Jellian leader spawned in by Carla. He was supposed to give it back, says Tyson. And actually, Luis even admits it himself. The truth is, I didn't get it directly. Carla gave it to me a while ago, which is why I have it. I usually use it for recording videos, despite saying that it wasn't dev spawned to me and also trying to trade me it here in this screenshot. In another server, he even said dev spawn ? I traded that Jellian a month ago, lol. But that Jellian leader was the tip of the iceberg. This is where things start to crumble in his little world. So do you guys remember his shiny Wumbo Pat the Hapless? Well, I brought that up to Tyson because he did frequently group them together when you try to trade him for them. Tyson said he doesn't know for sure. He'd have to talk with Carla, and it turns out, guys, right down here, yes, he actually got it from the Krabby Crew, which at this point is to no surprise at all. But of course, it didn't end there. Where was the other 10 billion value? Well, his King of Karate was spawned in, his Pioneer here, Patrick. 5-star was spawned in. And what about his shiny Wumbo Squidward the Sad Clown? Well, at least one of them. He had 2. Well, that was also deleted. And since Louise kept saying that it was actually his, they sent proof that Louise requested it for a video here. But when we translate it, as you can see, yes, I just finished checking. He would need a rodent, a sad clown, an NC worm, and a mama bass. So despite being saved and only having his units deleted, still being allowed on the platform, Louise has said things like this now. 80% of SPDT players have done cross-trade, and I don't care anymore. They stole 5 billion value worth of my inventory without justification. They didn't even return my maxed out snowman lost in a trade. On top of that, they kicked me out of Starfish. Honestly, I've already quit. And then the craziest part, guys, the cherry on top. Whose side are you on? Louise or Wonderworks? So now let's look at the other ways Louise has taken accountability for breaking all the rules. He commented on their video, "Give me back my units," to which Krabby Crew responded, "We've already DM'd you. We took back the units you borrowed for videos and the units you admitted to buying. You gave me a much shorter list than the reality. When we talked in the DMs, you said you wanted to just move on." Here he says to me, "If you think the big guy 5-star, the army number 2, the sad shiny Wumbo, then the pat number 2 or dev spawn, shoot yourself." And in this screenshot, he blames him losing 1 billion value with the appetizer 1 of 1, the worm shiny Wumbo, and the 5-star bunker. So after his units were spawned in the admin views, he said, "I wasn't going to stand idle by when that happened," and that's what infuriated him, and he decided to buy units with Robux, basically. But we ended up actually getting somewhere. I said, "It's really not a hard concept. You broke the rules." Okay, send me a screenshot signed by Roblox that shows the rules. When I see it, I'll admit I broke them. So, of course, I sent the screenshot of the terms of service. And then he goes, "Okay, I admit it. I broke the rules. Happy now?" But unfortunately, guys, he couldn't just end it there. He couldn't just admit he couldn't take the consequence. Nope. This is translated, but it says the reason why cross-trading is illegal is actually obvious. There's a huge risk of scams, not to mention trades for Robux, and it will remain illegal until Roblox implements a system for cross-trading without the risk of being scammed, among hundreds of other reasons. But in part, it's not illegal for that reason. On my server, there was middlemen and measures to prevent scams. They say it's illegal because it's not allowed on Roblox, but then in other games, people do it and absolutely nothing happens to them. And then he blames the borrowed units that he kept and pretended that were his and showed off and tried to trade me. He says, "Okay, it also shows when I wanted to return the unit and didn't receive a response." He shows himself here messaging Carla saying, "Can you take my unit back?" Which is just absolutely crazy. This guy thinks there's sides. He thinks he's in the wrong. He's playing victim in all of this. But to his credit, it's actually working, guys. Look at all of these positive people on his post. I hope you recover everything. Louise, you're the best. Don't leave because of this. F for Louise. I'm so sorry. I really hope you get them all back. We support you, Louise. And he's got around 100 similar comments on his video. But where does this all lead us today? Due to the graceful Krabby Crew, honestly, they were very graceful this time. They usually aren't. He is miraculously still not banned on Spongebob Tower Defense. Luckily, he was removed from the Starfish program, but we and Tides think more should be done and rules should apply to all players. Raise Burner, for example, was banned just for getting Robux offers on his units. This came after his account was reset during the Tower of Karate. He was the only one to get reset. He got emotional and threatened to quit the game, basically. Yet he was banned just for getting offers on his units with Robux. Louise wasn't banned for buying with Robux. I really don't get it. To this day, Louise has yet to apologize, condemn his actions, and he even thinks he deserves his big guys and Santa Claus back, among others. And here's everything he has left, guys. Let's zoom into this real quick. So yeah, he's got the Superstar Snow Sponge and a bunch of Max Prismatic still, but he's much poor, losing all his 1 of 1s that were dev spawned and the units he bought. And we could probably guess that a lot more units are probably bought. These are just the ones he admitted to and put in his Discord. And still to this day, Louise X Fut's SPTD Discord is still promoting a cross-trading server. But luckily, I think he's banned it within his server. There's just a link to one in his server. I don't get it. The crazy part is his army's genuinely manipulated and gaslit. So we need to be even stronger, guys. Let's get these devs to apply the rules to everyone, especially someone this nefarious, guys. He still has a cross-trading server. Let's get the hashtag justice for Louise spammed up, but on the way they do. Let's say justice for Louise because he deserves more justice, guys. Let's get him banned off the platform. Make sure we apply pressure to the devs. This is absolutely insane. He still has a cross-trade. What? And since he had the #1 shiny Wumbo Jellian and also superstarred it into the #1 superstar Jellian, what happened to the guy who got the #2 shiny Wumbo Jellian earlier in the video? Well, guys, justice has been served. The dev spawn #1, which should have never been in the game and interrupted his #1, has been reinstated thanks to the swift action taken by Mr. Tyson. The last question that remains is, why is Louise not banned? See you in the next one.